Hi everyone, welcome back to the next diecast. In today's video, I'll be unboxing and doing a quick review of this 1/24th scale Porsche Taycan Turbo S made by Welly. I found this model on Amazon for just over $19 in total. Thought that was a pretty good price because usually these 1/24th scale Welly models are sold for like $25 or more, unless you can occasionally find them at CVS or at Walgreens where they have them for about $17. But I got the blue version here. It looks awesome. And this is from the Next Models series. This is their current style of box that they're using with their 1/24th scale models. There's the name of the car on the front. You got the actual car inside the box. And here's the side flap. A new exploration of models. That's been kind of their slogan for this series for a few years. I don't really know what it means, but kind of cool, I guess. There's the Welly logo back there, die-cast metal. Down here you have what the model has for opening features. You got the opening doors and the hood. There's the Amazon label for it. And you have all the licensees down there as well. So we'll go ahead and get this model out of the box. Let's see, we'll get it out from the side flap here. Yeah, these boxes are hard to work with, as you can see there. That sucks. Oh well, at least I got the flap out. I'll put a piece of Scotch tape on there to hold it shut or to hold it together. Yes, let's get this out. That is a nice, oh, and we got a broken mirror. That's great. I'll put that on later with some glue, but in the meantime, we'll get out the model. You see it has working steering, and we have two screws holding it on the base, so we'll get the screws off next. All right, as you can see, it is held together by two straps on here. Here's the production date that Welly likes to put on the bottoms of their models, so we'll go ahead and get these straps off next. These are holding the hood shut. That's so cool that it has working steering. I really like that. And then we'll get this one off. This holds the doors shut. All right, here's the Taycan out of the box and unscrewed from the base. I was able to get this mirror glued back on with some plastic glue, so that looks good. And of course, with this model, you do have the opening doors, working steering, which is a nice bonus, and the opening front trunk. Looks like an awesome, well-detailed model. Now on to the review. All right, let's take a look at the details of this Porsche Taycan here. I think 20 bucks is sometimes a bit of a stretch for like a 1/24th scale car, but I think for this Welly version that it is pretty much worth that price. Because Welly, I think, is higher quality in general in terms of like budget models. You can already see with like the paint and everything that it's just a fantastic looking model. That broken side mirror was definitely not the fault of Welly. It probably just got broken off during shipment, but I used a little drop of plastic glue and I glued it back on. So keep in mind, just be careful with the mirrors. But they are pretty sturdy. Must have taken a pretty hard hit for it to come off like that. And there was no like damage or scratching to the mirror itself or to the door that it came on. Yeah, so you can find this Taycan for usually between $18 and maybe $30, depending on where you're actually buying it from. It comes in this really awesome dark blue that I haven't actually really seen on a real Taycan. It seems like all the ones I see, which are very few by the way, are either white or silver, even on like commercials and like magazines and whatnot. But this blue just looks fantastic. It comes in this dark blue and also kind of a lighter blue. I think there might be more colors. I just can't think of them right now. But this is still being made, of course, and it's fairly widely available, I would say, on Amazon, die-cast metal wholesale, and eBay and whatnot. And overall, I think the details align quite well with Welly's other models they make in 1/24th scale. And I wish they were to make this in 1/18 scale. I think that'll be a great kind of addition to their 1/18 scale line. They don't frequently release models in that scale, and they are pretty hard to come by, at least here in the US. But I think having a budget 1/18 scale Taycan would be great. But this budget 1/24 scale Taycan is awesome, just as much. So we'll take a look at the details of the model. We'll begin up here with the front. Excellent job with the overall shape and look of these headlights. Nice detailing with the lenses and that kind of black trim that surrounds them. Even have the kind of three-dimensional bulbs kind of done on the insides of the lenses, which look very well done. And of course, you have the nice black trim on there as well. In the center, you do have a Porsche badge. It's embossed on there in paint. It's not a sticker. And you can see the fantastic paintwork on this model. It is a dark metallic blue, very kind of shiny mirror finish, and nice thick paint job throughout. little tiny scuff up there, but that was probably damaged from shipment a little bit. And then you have the lower bumper and grills down here. Of course, they aren't perforated, but they're so small for a 1/24 scale model, you would probably have difficulty replicating that if you were a model manufacturer, but they look well done nonetheless. Awesome looking wheels, the two-tone kind of black and silver you see. You have the silver kind of perimeter, and then you have the black spokes. And the disc brake actually does move through the caliper, which is very well done. And you have a yellow kind of Porsche brake calipers, which pair up so cool with this blue. I love those. And this model actually does have steering. Welly is one of the few manufacturers that still includes steering on their 1/24 scale cars, and that is awesome to see. The shut lines are all nice and tight throughout. Almost looks like you can't even open the doors, even though you actually can, of course. Nice side windows back here, and the nice rear window up there. In the back, you have the Porsche Taycan Turbo S with the inscription on there. Looks very well done. You have kind of that single tail light back here, which is a clear, separately cast lens, and the Porsche inscription is actually underneath that, which looks very well done. And the Taycan Turbo S badging looks good as well in that kind of matte black. And down here you have kind of a lower, I guess, grille. This is an electric car, so I don't know if that's a grill or like a diffuser or what, but the real Taycan does have that, and Welly does a good job of kind of replicating that on there, for sure. So in terms of opening features, you do have an opening front trunk. It is kind of hard to get open. You have to kind of pull it up with your finger like so. And it reveals a pretty decently detailed front trunk up here. Of course, you have the fully underpainted hood, which looks good. Not too much to really see in here. There is a nice texture. This is the accurate, shape and size you would see if this were the real kind of a Taycan's trunk. You have a couple of different, I guess, fluid reservoirs up here. They aren't colored in. The entire front trunk up here is black. I think for the most part on the real car, it is all black. This might have to be a different color, this kind of fluid cap right up here. But aside from that, I think Welly does a good job in here. And the entire plastic piece is actually very nice and flush with the body. Some of these models you see, you can just like shake the whole thing around, but on here you can't do that, which is nice to see. You do have dog legs, but Welly actually does kind of thinner dog leg hinges, so they aren't as noticeable. And the hood, you can actually pose it at different angles. A lot of these 1/24 scale cars, it's either like, up or it just slams down. But on here, you can tell it's going to be held up for quite some time because of the high quality, I guess, build quality that they put into it, which is nice to see. And of course, you also have opening doors as well. They open up on spring-loaded hinges, and they open up at, I think, a fairly wide angle. I feel like on the real car, they would open up almost to like a straight angle, like over here, but I think they have it opened up pretty well on this model here. Nice detailing and texturing on the door panels themselves. You can see kind of those buttons up there. Nice kind of leather pattern on the top of the door, and then you have, I guess, and then you have kind of a mesh speaker looking, I guess that is a speaker down there. And of course the panels are nice and flush with the body, or with the actual doors, I should say, as well. Interior detailing. This is a fairly decently done interior for a 1/24 scale car. I think Welly kind of goes more for like different textures in here than they do for more fine detailing. And it is 1/24 scale. If this were 1/18 scale, you would, I guess, see kind of more detailing. But what they have there, I think, looks pretty decent. You would see some stuff on this, I think, screen right there in the center console. You do have two kind of nicely molded vents on there, and you have the shifter and like the cup holder and stuff. The steering wheel is actually pretty well done, though. You have a nice kind of embossed Porsche badge in the center there. You have some buttons on either side of that center Porsche, and then you have kind of a nice silver trim around the badge. And on the gauge cluster, you can actually see gauges on there. I think they're actually printed on instead of a sticker, unless I'm wrong about that. But they're pretty well done. You would actually see all those different gauges and numbers and stuff if this were the real car. And then you have some nice detailing with these pedals down here too. They aren't like molded into the floor like some manufacturers do. They're actually separately cast pieces, which look very well done. Nice detailing with the seats as well. Great overall shape and texture, I would say, for sure. There's a better view from that side. And even with the back seats too. Welly does a good job with those. And yeah, the interior is all black, although that is an option for the real Taycan. I think Welly often goes for the all black interiors to kind of save on costs of paint and whatnot. But I think they do a pretty good job in here, nonetheless, for a 1/24 scale model. I think some more fine detailing on the dashboard and like I guess the center stack or center screen here would have been welcome, but aside from that, I think for a 124 scale car, this interior is definitely well done. Doors close like so. Overall, I'd say this is a pretty well detailed budget model of the current Porsche Taycan. Welly does a great job as always with just overall build quality and just fit and finish of parts and everything. And yeah, some fine detailing elements I guess are absent, but this is a 1/24 scale car. So if this were 1/18 scale, you would probably see some more detailing in that sense. But I think for a budget model of the Taycan, this is a good buy. So if you can find it for a good price, I would say definitely get it. So as always, feel free to comment down below with your thoughts on the model here, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.